One. Good morning and welcome to Lesson 6 of Level 2 ICT Functional Skills. Today we're going to look at inserting, cropping, formatting images and text using Microsoft Word. As always, I'm Scott Margerson. Welcome everyone. So as I say, today's lesson, insert, size, crop, position images and text that are fit for a purpose. By the end of the lesson, hopefully you will be able to plan and design a leaflet or poster. Phone was going there. Plan and design a leaflet or poster. Identify relevant text and images. Position, size and crop text and images. And apply formatting techniques to suit the purpose. So this is actually a very good indication of what you might have to do in the test. Those of you who haven't already done a test, this is a typical question that you may have to do. So last lesson, lesson 5, we were looking at creating a range of tables. Inserting, deleting rows and columns. Those of you who were there, I don't think either of you two were. Merge and split cells appropriately. Input and format data to aid clarity. And print using orientation and grid lines to suit purpose. So the last thing I asked you guys to do was do task. Is that the one? Task 3. Let's just check. Yeah, I think it was task 3. So yeah. You're asked to create a table. You're given some basic information and you have to format it by changing the headings, changing the lines for the grid lines, put them in the right order, inserting new rows, splitting some cells, merging some cells at the top, insert a title. That's what it should look like. So if any of you want to grab that, save it if you like. I think you can just go up to the top and save these files. Then you can compare it to whatever it was you were going to create. Okay. But today, well, I'm going to look at, let's go back to the lesson thingy. Here we go. So that was lesson 5. Aim to get any questions on inserting tables or merging cells or anything like that? No? Okay. If, as always, if you have a question, please put your hand up. Can we just check that you all know how to put your hand up in the classroom? So there's a little raise hand icon. If you can all do that for me now. Oh, we've got a few here. Oh, a few people joined us. So there's a few still playing about there. So just keep your hands raised to make sure everyone has got the idea of how to raise their hand. So we've got an Amy, got Bradley, Dan is here, I've got Jack. Just doing the register. Lots of people turning up. Katie's come back. Malika, you having some trouble with your... Oh, there we go. Oh, Malika. And Tim. Okay, excellent. Oh, there's a Sophie Phillips as well. Alright, brilliant. Those of you who just joined. Okay, I'll put your hands down, please. Excellent, thank you. So, as always, if you want to ask a question, please raise your hand. I'll get to it, or you can send me a chat message or chat invitation, and we can chat about that. So today we are going to go on to the next bit, which is, well, that was last week. So do task 3 and task 4. Today we're going to look at task 5. So where to find it? As always, go into BKSB, log into your account. There is also a copy on here, so you might be able to just save it from here if you like. That's the file. So it's a PDF file, and that's the answers from the old one, so I'll leave that up. And we'll go through it step by step as always. Okay, so we're looking at task 5. So depending on your version, whether it's 2003, 2007 or 2010, open up the PDF, and there's also a Word document to go with it. So let's do those now. Let's go to the next bit. So this is creating a poster. So let's get the right one on the screen. And first of all, remind myself I need to share the screen. I didn't do that last time. There we go. So hopefully on the page now you can see that we've got my functional skill. Every time post-it comes right at the beginning. So functional skills, last task 5, creating a poster. So if you want to open that one up, or we can step through it as we go through. So you may also want to have open the word processing information pack, should you need to use it. So let's go through it then. First of all, any questions before we carry on? I'll just open that up in a different window. No questions? No? Okay, right, we'll crack on. So open Microsoft Word, which I've done. Open a file called WP 2.5, keep active from your folder. So I'll just need to find that in my folder. Function skills. .5, keep active. There we go. So that's essentially all we get is a center. We've got some text on one page. That's all we've got. We now need to save the document as Mansfield on the Move poster to your folder. So we shall do that. I'm just going to put it on my desktop. Where are we? Mansfield on the Move poster. Saved. And we're now going to do something which I don't really agree with, which is at the top of the document we're going to use some word art. The text to be entered is Mansfield on the Move, so I'm just going to copy that. And go up to Insert. Up here we've got word art. And we can choose any of those. However, I do think they're a little bit... I'm not in total agreement with word art. I don't think it's a good use of design in a document. Go. Mansfield on the Move. Click OK. And that's about as much as I would do, really. I don't even like that one. So let's also put that in the middle. Choose a style which you think's best. Actually, I don't really like that. So I'm going to change that. What about that? Something a bit more funkier. There we go. Mansfield on the Move. Use a drag and drop and word art heading to the center of the page between the left and right margins. So I don't know if you saw me how I did that. That was actually, if I go back a couple of stages, it was actually down the bottom. I then dragged it up to the top. Put it center justified. And then I'll go back to word art again. So, and I want to change that to that one there. Okay. Hello. Okay, so now we want to resize the word art if necessary so it fits all the way across the page. So to do that, we can watch what happens when I drag one of these middle ones. It stretches, not ideal. I would rather, I'm just going to go back to keep proportions, I would rather change all features. So I'm going to make it bigger up here. I'm going to put it up the top. That's a bit better. There we go. Change the horizontal alignment of the whole document to left aligned. So I'm just going to select everything. Click left aligned. Add bullets to the first 5 lines, listing the possible ways to exercise. Here we go. So if I read, let's read what it says. Did you know that by being physically active 30 minutes a day, blah, blah, blah. What is more, you don't have to go to the gym just in Lycra. Personally, Lycra is my favourite item of clothing. I'm going to put in here my bullet points. Next thing, change the margins to. So, quick question for anyone. Let's have a look. Oliver, how do I change the margins? Can't have you all just sat there. That could be one thing to do. These ones up here on the screen I'm pointing to. I don't know if you can see that. Can anyone else tell me where else I could do it? Is there a manual way that I can go to type in some figures, for instance? Tim? Yeah, that'd be a place to go. Yeah, page layout, margins, and then we've got last custom setting. So I'm just going to go to custom margins. In fact, where's it gone? Click on custom margins, and we want top. I'm going to put that to 2.2 centimeters, bottom 2 centimeters, left and right. There we go. That's quite easy. That's okay. Line spacing. Change the spacing on the whole document to double. So this is another actual useful feature. Can anyone tell me how to do that? James, I haven't heard from you. James Finn. Where's the line? In fact, if I make this a bit bigger. Pardon? Good question, was it? I'll repeat the question, yeah. How do I change it to double line space for the whole document? Is that the top? Somewhere up the top. I'll go back to the home screen. It's actually this one here. So if you're not sure, you can always open up the paragraph. We've got line spacing. We can change that as one way of doing it, or there's a little icon here. We can change it there. So 2 would be double. So let's change it to double. There we go. Thank you, James. Next thing we need to do is create the following table after the words. The 30 minutes can be divided into 3 times 10-minute activities. So in here we need to create a table. Okay, Bradley seems to be having some problems with his audio. Sorry, I can't help you there. I don't think it's a problem my end. I think all my microphone's working okay. Maybe it's your speaker, or it might be the connection. Is anyone else having a problem with the audio? Maybe it is me. Put your hands up if you're getting intermittent. Sophie is. Okay, I think Bradley's having some problems there. And he says it's his end. Okay, no worries. Just have to carry on best you can at the minute. So try and follow as best you can. So next thing to do is create a table following the words 30 minutes. So down here I need to insert table, and it's 1, 2, 3, 5. And then I want to put these in. So columns 1, 3, and 5, it should be 5 centimeters. So a couple of ways of doing that. 1, 3, and 5. I can, where are we now? Table properties, columns. These ones should be 5. Well, actually, what we can do is just select one at a time. That's going to be 5. Next column is going to be 1. That's going to be 5. That's going to be 1. It's going to be 5. Done. So that was a quick and easy way of doing it. Walk to the shops 10 minutes, so we could either just type that in here. I'm not sure if any of you know how to do this. Vacuum the stairs. I do it at least once a month. And last one, dance. Dance like no one is watching. So a little 30 minutes, so about 10 minutes walk to the shops, and when you're at the shops, vacuum the stairs, and then while you're vacuuming the stairs, you can do a bit of dancing. Okay. Next thing, remove all table borders. Do you know a quick and easy way of how to do that? Amy, you've been very quiet. How do we remove all the borders from my table? Amy's gone off for a cup of coffee, I think. Alright, okay. Yeah, so I'm looking at remove all the top on the sheet here, table borders, remove all of the table borders. How do I do that?
You go to the top of the screen where there's like where the paragraph section is.
Yeah.
And just on the literally just on top where your little mouse is, the little box, the line. And then you go to and then you there's like a little drop box. And you click no border.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll need to select my table first. Okay, thank you very much, Amy. Well done. Yeah, that's a quick and easy way of doing it. What it's done here is set out our text here, and it's made it nice and easily spaced so that we can make it look better, I suppose. Okay, change the horizontal alignment of the table to center aligned across the page, and then center align the text in the table within each cell. So that's two separate things. So first of all, I want to put that in the center of the page, which I've done, and then I want to center align all the text. So again, this is another table feature which we covered last week. First of all, highlight the text, and once you click inside the table, we get a layout box here, and I want to do all three. So here's a little representation of what the text would look like. I want it center aligned for all of them, and there we go. Next thing, change the font of the whole document to Lucidia Sans. We'll sort out that in a second. So we can either just go down, find it, or we can start typing Lucidia Sans and then press enter. But we want it all to be 14. There we go. And the plus signs in the table need to be font size 24. So that one, make that 24, and that one 24. There's another quicker way of doing that. Can anyone? Anyone? Well, we could have used, if I just go back a step, I could have used Format Painter, and that would have done exactly the same thing. Okay, what's next? Add another point to the bullet list after the line use stairs, not lifts, which should read get off the bus a stop earlier. So I'm just going to copy that. Get off the bus a stop early. Well, you know. So I copied and pasted that. You'll notice I copied there, and there's a couple of things that will happen. If I Control V here, that's what happens. We don't want that. We can right click and we've got a few options for pasting. So Control V was exactly the same as doing that one. That one, not so great. I don't like that one. I want A, so I want it to follow the text that's in the document. Bulleted list, I want to format, select all text in the bulleted list and change it to bold and italic. So let's go to there. Bold, italic. I want to insert a text box between the word art heading and the text. In fact, I think I need to put this up a little bit. Put that in there. Insert text box. What kind of text box? Simple text box will do fine. And I want to put in resize the text box, stretch the text box between the two margins across the page. So this does say stretch. There we go. Go. Doesn't look so great just yet. Center align the text in the text box. So I'll select text box. I want to center align that. Increase it to size 20. Home 20. There we go. Format the text box. Remove the line from around the text box. Does anyone know how to do that? Yeah. Who's that talking, James? That doesn't work, unfortunately, because it's not a table. But good try, though. Good try. I like it. Yeah, that was one way of doing it. So right-click, format text box, and we can go to lines. There we go. So we've got line, color, dashed. We could have no color. It would make it disappear. But the line is still there, so that's not entirely what we want to do. What we could do is just put it back to black, and we can change it to. Should be able to change it to no line. Where are we? Yeah, let's just keep it as no color. There we go. I've just undone what I did. Let's try again. There we go. And now we can see what's happened is it's getting in the way of our text, and our white line is apparent. Change the color of the text in the box to red. Oh god, horrible. Alright, let's do that. Font, change the font of the words want to know more to size 18 and bold. There we go. Size 18 and bold. Change the whole of that want to know more section to blue font color and center align. So let's just we've got it on there. Blue font colored, center aligned. Underline the text Leidenbrook Community Centre. There's a couple of ways of doing that as well. There's a keyboard shortcut for this one. Does anyone know the keyboard shortcut to underline some text? Drum roll please. Anyone? No? Well, I can't. Oh. Control U, yes. So hold down the control button, press U at the same time, and you can, every time you press it, it toggles between on and off. Okay, and you'll notice on the top of the screen, this will also toggle. So those of you who prefer to use a keyboard, that's another little shortcut for you. And then the next bit, check the spacing of your poster to make sure every line is easy to read. Change any spacing to make your poster fit all on one page. Now, easy way to do that is zoom out slightly. What a lot of people tend to make a mistake when creating posters is to put it over 2 pages, and then they don't get everything on 1 page. So I'm just going to keep a few things. I'm going to take away some. Oh, didn't like that. Actually, I'm going to change that line spacing. I don't really like it. Find the line space. There it is. Maybe 1.5 might be better. No. Seems to be far too many spaces. That looks a bit better. Get rid of that. No, it doesn't look so good. In fact, I'm just gonna. So we're all on one page. Looks fairly balanced. So when you're marking something like this, as I do, I'll zoom back in now because that all looks out of kilter there. Why is my getting the stairs down doesn't look right? I think that's probably because. Nope. No, well, that's what it's supposed to be. But everything's on one page, which is good. I don't like this little green. I'll just ignore that for now. Doesn't look quite right. See where Microsoft Word's grammar is not quite up to it. What is more, you don't have to. Well, I think actually there should probably be a comma in there. Make more sense. What is more, you don't have to go to a gym dressed in lycra. In fact, I would be tempted to move that, make that slightly smaller so it all fits on. Maybe not. This doesn't look quite right, but if I make it another line space, it doesn't quite fit in. Everything's on one page. You wouldn't lose any marks for this bit here. It just, to me, it just doesn't quite fit right. Anyone else got any comments on this particular poster? How could we make it a little bit better? Anything we could change? In fact, let's move that up a bit. How's about that? There we go. How's that? But I would suggest that one of the good ways of doing it is to zoom out and have a look and see if it's balanced. If there's enough white space around everything. You don't want everything bunched up over to one side. Too much blocky text. That would get you the marks because you've done exactly what it says on the sheet. It may not look the best thing in the world, but you're looking to get the marks. So you need to follow everything it says. If it says put headings in, you need to put headings in. You have to be consistent, that kind of thing. A couple of things you also need to do. You must make sure you spell check. And we don't want Dear Sir or Madman on there, because Madman won't be picked up by spell check, because it is in fact a word. Always good to proofread. For instance, the grammar. So what is more, for instance, I put an extra comma in there because the grammar wasn't quite correct. You don't have to go to the dressed in lycra. And I don't understand why it's capital L for lycra. It's just a material after all. It doesn't deserve a capital letter. Footer. Insert today's date in the footer on the right. Make sure it's size 8. So want to insert. We've got footer. And on the right, let's just see. Let's go back to that one. Let's put that one in. I can move it to the right. No, that's not how I do it. I want the date, didn't I? Insert. I just want the date. We can do it in a few different ways. Today's date on the footer on the right. Let's just put 13th of January. Click OK. I want to put that. Use the tab key. Go back one. Doesn't quite fit. Let's change that one. Let's put in. That's probably a better one. Doesn't like that, does it? That'll have to do for now. And font size 8. Pretty small. Print preview. Use a print preview facility to check the layout of a document. So as I said, you can either do print preview or zoom out. Print preview, I've got that locked in at the top there. It pretty much does the same, except it gives you lots of printing options. I don't really want to do that, so I want to close, exit, cancel, don't want to close the document. Okay, and then it says print one copy of the document. So to do that, I've just got to my print icon, back to file. You have to make sure that you have a printer installed. If you don't have a printer installed, then the types of paper sizes that are available won't come up. For instance, there's on my paper. Make sure you got it set to the correct one. A4. Sometimes if it's a default setting, sometimes it's set to letter, which will make it a bit funny. And you've got lots of different sizes on there. And that's it. Any questions on that one? No one's got any questions. He's fallen asleep, I think. So there we go. That's pretty much all we're going to do today. I'm just going to minimize that now. Next part of the lesson. So that was task 5, create a poster, which we've all done. The next thing I would like you guys to do on your own is to create a newsletter. Hopefully you've got an idea of how to create a poster. Okay, it's not the best poster in the world, but it gives you some of the tools that you may need, inserting some tables using word art, aligning your text, changing the line spaces, etc. So task 6 is in the same place, well, next to task 5 on BKSB, and I will just quickly run through that. Let's see if I can open it. Two seconds. 2.6, create a newsletter. Here we go. Computer's frozen. There we go. Right, so create a newsletter. Zoom out a bit. So this one is there's a word processing file, 2.6 newsletter from your folder, and you then got to create the Roxton newsletter issue 2. A few other things you need to do. Again, word art, change the font size, insert footers, and we've got this extra thing, find and replace. If I can, it's actually a very useful tool. I'll get you guys to use it on your own. We've got inserting some symbols, copy and pasting. We've got borders and shading. All useful exercises to do. Headings and font. Insert text. I'm going to change columns. There we go. A few other things. Line spacing, which we've already done. Bullets, print preview and save. So that should take you about 20 minutes, half an hour. So what I'd like you to do for the rest of this lesson is have a go at this task here, task 6. Find it on BKSB, and then come back and show me what you've got. So anyone got any questions on that? You've got 20 minutes, we might as well use it. We've got 25 minutes. See if we can manage to get this task done before the end of the lesson. And I'll show you the results, what it should look like at 11 o'clock. Any questions? No questions. Alright, and so once you're done, put your hand up, and then we can have a look and see what you've got, and I will put up the answers. Okay, I'm just going to go on mute for now, so you'll point me waffling on for a bit. So have a go at this, please, guys. Any questions, give me a shout. If you can't find it, you should be able to save it from here. Can't quite remember how to do that. So have a go at that on your own. Resume the recording. Hiya, James. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but basically what I'll do is I'll just quickly go through the last task. So Rockstar newsletter, that was the task you had to do. You have to create a newsletter and a few tasks to go through, and this is what it should look like at the end. Next page. There we go. That's what it should have looked like. Black and white, a couple of columns, a few symbols put in. Actually, that looks quite professional, quite like that one, better than the other one. So if you manage to get anything that looks like that, very well done. So looking back to what we've got to do next. So if you have a chance, retake the ICT initial assessment, upload any evidence you've done onto iLearner so your assessor can see it. So such as this task, if you've done that task, upload it to your, get your assessor to have a look at it. They will give you some credit to show that you're making progress on functional skills. So make sure, have a go at task 6 and then do task 7, create a questionnaire. Yeah, you certainly can. I will send out a list. I did send out a list to everyone of the links on there so far. I'll send out an updated list with this one added on, so it'll be lessons 1 to 6 on there. Will do. Okie doke. And the next session we're going to look at PowerPoint. So we're going to use PowerPoints. We're pretty much finished with the word process inside. We've only got a few lessons left, so we're going to use PowerPoint, and I think we've got, can't remember what's after that, but the next one's PowerPoint. Thanks for attending, and any questions, as always, give me a call or drop me a line. Cheers, James. Bye now.